Good morning. Come on in. Have a seat. We're going to get started here in just a second. Come on in. Come on in. I'm going to get this out, get some people in here this morning. Here's one. I'll get this out right here. Good morning, chain breakers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in. Hi, I am Brad Smith. I am your host for Chain Breakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise. I want to welcome you in here today. It is Tuesday, December the 31st, 2019. And you know what? This is the very last day of this year. It's the last day of the month. It's the last day of the year. It's the last day of the decade. Wow, what a monumental day. And good morning, Nathaniel, Nat, all those names. Good morning, Jeremy. Glad to see you in here already this morning. We're going to take a little bit look back of what's kind of happened in this last year, because this has been a huge year. And we're going to talk a little bit about planning and not only planning with us, but planning for you and take a look forward. So what I want to start is kind of taking a look back. So I had to even go back and look at some of my records to find out. Hashtag Uplift and Rise we created in the middle of May of this last year. In the middle of May the 19th of 2019 was the first day for hashtag Uplift and Rise. And it has grown very, very, very quickly. In fact, as of last night, we passed 1,600 members in hashtag Uplift and Rise. That was what it was on the 19th. That's what we started on the 19th. And then as we got in through May and into June, and come the 1st of July was when Chain Breakers 365 got started. That's my business page. That is the business page for a lot of non-automotive things that we do. And at this point, there has been about, I'm going to say about 135 roughly episodes that we've done of hashtag of Chain Breakers 365. So, and in that time, we have again gone from 0 to, I think today we're somewhere around, and I can probably look it up quickly, but anyhow, we're somewhere around 300 members in here, and it is growing quickly. We're adding lots of members every single day. Good morning, Laura. Glad to have you here this morning. So I have been very, very blessed with this community and how fast this has grown. Can't tell you how much this has meant to me. And in this exponential growth, we've now got a lot of people jumping in, adding people into hashtag Uplift and Rise every single day. In fact, yesterday, I think there was somewhere around 150 invitations that went out to people to join. Now, that doesn't mean 150 people joined yesterday. No, that means there were 150 people that were invited to participate. So a lot of those people still have to accept. They have to agree to come in. They have to, but they will start seeing some of the things from hashtag Uplift and Rise for a limited period of time. This has been a huge year of growth. There's been absolutely no question. We've had members of this group that have suffered with cancer, some of which are still struggling through that. Some other people who now have been given clean bills of health, and I am so blessed and so happy for those. And unfortunately, there's 1 or 2 members that we've unfortunately lost in this last year due to cancer and disease. Janine, good morning. Glad to have you join us this morning. And I'm sure there are more. I can see that there are more in here. I just can't see who you are. Drop us a note. Just say hi. We'd love to say hi to you and have you become part of our community. So we've been looking back a little bit on the things that have changed. We're going to continue to see a lot of change here in the next year. I believe that we will see a lot of growth in hashtag Uplift and Rise within the next year. In fact, my goal for this group is to see us hit 10,000 members by the end of the year 2020. And I really, truly believe we can do that. We've got a lot of people actively now starting to invite people in there. And as people continue to do that and add and invite more and more and more, it will start growing exponentially. So while we've grown only 1,600 in the last, 7.5 months, I think we can indeed hit 10,000 people. Are you with me? I hope we can all do this. I hope we're in this with me together. This is going to be a fantastic ride. Good morning, Janice. Glad to see you in here this morning, too. So also, I want to see, we're going to see kind of some rebranding probably as we move forward just a little bit. I'm working on some tweaks of how to be able to accomplish that. What I will personally be posting and then to where. Unfortunately, with my job, I am very busy during the day, and it's difficult for me to post much, but it's difficult for you to be in there seeing much, as a lot of you are working as well. But there are some nice features within Facebook when you are administrator of a group that will allow you to schedule posts in advance. So that's what's nice, is at that point I can get focused in on my work during the day and still join you in the evenings or in the early mornings and that kind of stuff, and do everything that I need to do to be able to pour into you throughout the day. But you're going to start seeing more of me personally. So you've seen a lot of posts and positive things that I posted up, and probably a lot of that will transition out of Chain Breakers and into hashtag Uplift and Rise. But we may do some rebranding there. And again, I'm still working on that. You're going to see start more of my story and my personality coming out in Chain Breakers. I think it's important to do that. I think it's important for all of us to get to know each other better. That's the way we all become a stronger community as well, is reaching out to each other, connecting with each other, finding out who each other are. And good morning, Leanne and Connie. Glad to have you in here this morning too. And that's the way I really believe that we are all going to grow together and grow together as a community. And I hope you're with me for this journey, because this is going to be a fun one for the year 2020. But we were talking yesterday about planning New Year's resolutions and what kind of resolutions work and what don't. So a lot of times we look at resolutions and they quickly get made because it's something that we're interested in, but it's not something that we're committed to. I'd like to lose some weight. I'd like to lose about 20 pounds next year, or whatever that number is for you. That's an I'm interested in. That's not an I'm committed to. You see, the difference between the two is when you are absolutely committed, you've got a reason why. You've got a reason why behind it. You know, and it's not only I want to do this because, and who is going to win and who's going to lose if you don't win, but also it's I want to lose 20 pounds, not some weight, but 20 pounds by X date. You see, we have to make it specific. We have to make it measurable. It has to be attainable. And if it's, wow, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in the next year, I don't know who that necessarily is, and that's just a number, okay? But maybe what we need to do is I'm going to lose 25 pounds by the end of March, right? So it becomes broken down into smaller steps. It has to be realistic, and when we see 100 pounds, it seems like an unrealistic number. So we tend to dismiss it in our minds. So we have to make it measurable. We have to make it realistic, right? And we have to make it trackable. It has to be something we can keep an eye on it. I use the acronym SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and trackable. Though if you can bring those pieces into it, that's right, SMART goals. At that point, you can bring those pieces into it, it becomes much more attainable. And real resolutions become real solutions. Now, we not only have to know what we're going to do, but how we're going to do it, right? So maybe it's that we need to become more active, right? Maybe it's because we're going to be working out of the gym. Maybe it's we're going to go out for walks on a daily basis. Maybe it's I've got some gym equipment I now own in my house, and I'm going to start using it so many days or so many minutes a day, so many days a week, those kinds of things. But you put a how or a reason why behind it. Don't just make it that I want to. Why do you want to? Why is it important to you? Why do you really want to accomplish this? So that's just all been one centered around weight. But I want you to look at different areas of your life, right? So there's the area of health and fitness, and I'm going to put that in there together. And you can put a lot of different goals within that. Maybe it's I'm going to work with a doctor on my eyesight, or I'm going to go start going to the chiropractor every so often, or I'm really going to do something important for my own personal well-being, and I'm going to get a massage done every so often, right? And specifically what that is for you. Those are examples, and I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just throwing out examples of things that can be looked at. So that's health and fitness. Maybe some of it is in your family. What are some goals that you want for your family in this next year? Maybe you've got family together, and we're going to have family meals together so many times a week, where we're going to take these things and we're going to set them down, and we're not going to look at our phones during the meal. Maybe that's something you want to do. Maybe your family is maybe you're an empty nester and your family is all scattered throughout the country, and maybe your goal is to connect with each family member every so often. And I'll let you define what that is, because maybe you're already doing it and you want to improve upon that. So maybe the goal is family. Maybe the goal is your social relationships, and it's in we want to go out with another couple every once a week or whatever it is, or I want to start connecting with this group. But write some specific goals, what it's going to be and by when. Maybe it is in your finances, and we talked a little bit about that yesterday. Finances can happen in two different directions. Maybe it is in your savings, and maybe it's in your earnings, right? What I've always tried to teach my children growing up is don't try to figure out how I can afford it by scrimping. Try to figure out how you can afford it by earning. Earn what you need to do in order to be able to pay for it, right? So as you earn more, you can get more, right? Or you can buy those things that you want to be able to buy. You have a larger budget, right? Or maybe you've worked for something specific for that purpose. So that's a couple different ways. But if it's savings, one way that you can do that is by making sure that you pay yourself first. When you get that paycheck, put so much aside into whatever an account, into whatever an investment, whatever, so that you can make sure that that's taken care of first. Because if you pay yourself last, then that money will never be there. If you pay yourself first, you will figure out how to budget, how to scrimp, how to whatever, to still pay those bills, but out of a smaller function balance, so that you still have that savings. So maybe some of it is in your finances, right? Maybe some of it is in your community service. So find that organization that you want to pour into. Maybe some of it is in your spiritual life. And maybe it's in reading your Bible. Maybe it's been taking part in a Bible study at church. Maybe it's making sure that you go to church every single week. Maybe it's I'm going to get involved on the worship team. Whatever it is for you, right? And maybe that area of your life is in personal growth. Maybe it's in education. I want to take these classes. I want to learn about this. I want to, right? And last but not least, and I want you to make sure again that you do it, and I covered this yesterday, and that's in your giving. What did you give last year? Did you tithe at your church? And if you didn't, why not? Was it because you didn't budget for it? Do the same thing as you do with yourself and your savings. Set it aside first, and then pay everything else out of what's left. You will either figure out how to reduce your expenses, or you will figure out how to be able to increase your income in order to cover it. But here's what you will find is, out of gratitude, you will find more positivity in your life. More positivity will lead to a better week, a better month, a better year, a better life. And out of a positive life, you will find more opportunity. And in opportunity comes money. Money will come. And out of that more money, you will have the ability to either take it in and save it, and maybe you have a need for some savings, but I'm going to encourage you to make sure to give. Give generously. Earn more to give more. Because as Christians, we are called upon to pour into one another. We are called upon to pour into and uplift others. Isn't that what uplifting is about? Is being able to help out our friend in need. My friends, we've already reached our time limit. I want to thank you for being part of this community in this last year. I look forward to this next year. But this next week is not only a new week, it's a new month, it's a new year, it's a new decade. There will be no Chainbreakers 365 tomorrow. We will be back on Thursday, on January the 2nd, to kick off a fantastic new year. I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for being here today, and we'll see you on Thursday for Chainbreakers 365 Live. Thanks so much, and we'll see you then. Bye now.